Shalom. Alright, so a lot of people have been asking me what is the scripture that I read from, and what scripture have I been reading from in these videos. And that's a good question. And the one I've been reading out of mostly in the videos is one called, they titled it not the Bible but the Word of Yahweh, because this is Yahweh's word. And this is a nice rendition they did, a translation, and it's the Assembly of Yahweh out of Eaton Rapids, Michigan. And it's a really good translation. It's basically based on the authorized version, which is called the King James Version. But the great thing they did was they took out the titles which had replaced, that Diana put in there to replace the Father's name, like Lord, and they put in Yahweh, and they replaced God with the true title Elohim. And where the Yahshua, where it speaks of the Messiah, instead of you having to read Jesus, the name, a corrupted name, everywhere you're going to read Yahshua, and instead of seeing Christ, you're going to see Messiah. So it's a beautiful scripture, the Word of Yahweh. I love this one a lot, and it's the Hebrew, it's the Hebrew scriptures and the Brit Hadashah. And so from Genesis to Revelations. This is another one that's come out recently. It's called the Scriptures, the 2009 edition. This is another one with the sacred names put in it. But instead of pronouncing it in English, they just say the Yud He Vav He, and then they spell Yahshua's name in Hebrew. And it's a great translation also, and they go good together. So this one's more similar to what is known as the Revised Standard Version, but they're both very good, and they have great footnotes. I love them a lot. Of course, the JPS 1917 edition, this Hebrew English Tanakh I study out of it all the time, and it's so great to be able to read the Hebrew, and I hope everyone can study Hebrew. It's really opened my eyes so much more to the scriptures, and it's such a joy to be able to read the actual words in Hebrew. So this is great foundation. So the Tanakh, the JPS translation, and the actual Hebrew text, that's what we need. So just to show you that, one side is Hebrew and the other side is English, and it's beautiful. So also, a very rare scriptures is the Isaac Leeser translation, translating of the 24 books of the Holy Scriptures, carefully translated after the best Jewish authorities by Isaac Leeser. This is one of the amazing translations from, I think, around the 20s, maybe the late 1800s, or one of those times. He was a great scholar, and this is a great translation. It's beautiful, some of the things in Daniel. And this is another old translation, reprinted, but this is the Rotherham's Emphasized Bible. And this is one of the first scriptures that ever he put the name, that was translated into English, he put the name Yahweh in. This was in the late 1800s. This came out, and this is very in-depth, going into the Hebrew and the Greek language and to the meanings of the words. This is really wonderful, very good for in-depth study. And one of my favorite scriptures, this was a gift from a very special person. This is the Smith Goodspeed translation from the American translation, the University of Chicago Press. And just another good version to look through, because when you're getting into translating Hebrew into English, the Hebrew words have such an in-depth meaning that it's hard to find an English word that actually means that. So you have to use different words, put them together in the right way to try to get the right train of thought. The thing is, the translators aren't inspired men like the prophets were who wrote the scriptures. So when we read through various translations, we can find the true train of thought and of the prophets, and it helps us, and also definitely helps going right to the Hebrew. So those are a few of my favorite translations, and these are the Hebrew scriptures. And love you all so much, and we feel the wind blowing. In Hebrew, the name wind is ruach, and the spirit is ruach, symbolic. The Most High is the source of all good things. I love you all. Shalom.